Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of YouTube. Welcome to Jibber Jabber. It's been a while since the last one of these, a few weeks at least, and I'll be getting into why before too terribly long. Of that you can rest assured. But first and foremost, we have introductions to go through. We have a pretty full house today, so going from top to bottom of the list as listed in Discord, we have Darkness, one of the British people.
Back again.
Yep. Next up, we have Hades.
Hello.
Wow, such enthusiasm. Next up, we have...
I'm
let's
being
see.
held against my will.
No, you're not. Next up, we have a certain Patrick Starfish, who happens to go by the name Soviet Starfish for whatever reason.
You know, I thought when we'd come back, we could all, enjoy the happiness that the holidays bring and not bully me, but I see I was
It's
wrong.
in your name, Soviet.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
but
bring-
it's still bullying.
You brought it on yourself. You have no one to blame but yourself. Next up, we have Lightning Flash.
Hello.
Yep. And standing in the background, staring into your soul, we have Paladin.
Yep, here.
And, let's see here. And last but not least, we have Tom117Z, a good friend, the writer of the Change series and co-author on many Idiosyverse stories, rounding out the British corner quite nicely.
Hello.
Yep. So,
Oh, no way.
So while you guys are telling me how your week went, I'm gonna adjust a few pixels over here because I'm still trying to get like the scale of everything right over here. I'll be explaining.
So tired. Ah.
Well,
It's the
we
review,
had to...
Soviet. I mean, I have basically a current thing going for me. I have the Sound of Silence song above my head. Every
Yep.
sub I've been to is Hello Darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it's been a few weeks since our last episode of Jibber Jabber, and I'd like to take a little bit to go into why it's been a few weeks since my last episode. I actually recorded more than one video on this topic and just never got around to posting them for any number of reasons. Maybe I wasn't satisfied with how they came out. Maybe I was just a forgetful and lazy bum. Who knows? Any number of reasons. But
The second one is very accurate.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah,
what it
but-
essentially boils down to is my laptop of several years that I got well before I graduated from high school finally up and bit the dust.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, we've known this was coming for a long time. I've been preparing for this inevitability for well over a year now, trying to get a new PC assembled. And I wish the laptop had waited one more month. If it had waited one more month, things would have been a lot better. But as it is, about halfway through December, it just up and decided, I'm just going to shut off and never turn back on again. And it was just after my family and I came back from watching a stage play, too. The first stage play I've ever been to. So fun new experience, and it was fun. It was a comedy play for one thing, and they got the audience involved with some trace amounts of improv here and there. It was a lot of fun. But following that, I come home, I sit down to start talking about it on my PC, I'm typing a message, and then all of a sudden, silent. Dead. Black screen, silence from the laptop. Fucked. Yeah, it wasn't a fun time. I had to so after spending a few days trying to get it to work, to no avail, I had to shift gears and start using my dad's computer instead. And this was really poorly timed because I had been planning on recording my Christmas special for this year that day. But then the laptop died. My recording software was lost as a result. I mean, it's all on my external hard drive, and that thankfully survived. So I didn't actually lose any of my shit, but the main machine I used to access it was lost, which kind of put me in a sticky wicket,
Key wicket.
Yeah, the most recent episode of TFS DBZ Abridged, it's where that link was. So
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah.
Well,
Howdy, kids. Looks like your old friend Sellers in a sticky wicket. Whatever should he do? Used to come at me,
Thing is-
good idea. Anyways.
Thing is, right, I remember you complaining to us on your phone or whatever about this happening, and you jinxed me because 2 days freaking later.
Tom's dies.
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember that now. I remember. That was my bad. I apologize.
Like 2 days later, after what was it? One day, whatever. A few weeks back, I'm just sitting there backing up a bunch of my university work, and then I hear a pop, and then my computer's just off, gone, dead. Won't even turn on. No lights, no nothing.
Yeah, gee, yeah, you have my sympathies on that front. That was my bad, I am sure.
I
Yes,
remember the day
I claim
when
responsibility
people killed
foolishly for this. Anyway.
Hades became paranoid. We were going to curse him next.
Yeah, well, anyway.
Yeah, don't.
Well,
yeah,
too late for
can we
me.
not
Mine
touch
died
mine?
ages
I rather
ago.
like mine.
I remember the day when PC World murdered it.
Oh no, the curse comes from darkness. Anyway.
Our PCs are fine now, so it's good.
So after that, I pulled a few strings, called in a favor, and made a compromise, and all of those statements are made quite literally to finally get the last part or two I needed for my computer ordered, for my new PC. The thing is by the time they would arrive, it would be too late to record the Christmas special that I had for this year. So finally, as it was getting damn close to Christmas, just a few days out, I finally had to just bite the bullet and record it on my dad's computer, which resulted in there being a slight loss in audio quality. Namely in the fact that my dad's living room where his computer is has terrible acoustics. So there was some shitty reverb for those who listened. And there were also some software hiccups in there. I don't know if I missed any, but I noticed immediately after recording that there were some points where the audio just skipped, where it stopped recording what I was saying for a second. So like, there was one point where I was talking about DJ Pone3, and then all of a sudden just cuts to like 20 seconds later in the audio, and whatever audio I had recorded in there was just lost. So I had to re-record a few things. I don't know if I lost anything or if I missed any of it. Tom, you can tell me that over DM if you like. But in the end, what it boiled down to is that Christmas special, I was able to get it out on time. Thank goodness for that. And it was...
The only thing I can particularly remember from that recording is I think you misread something at some point. But yeah.
What it was is it was the Christmas chapter of Soaring on Little Wings, which I deliberately skipped when reading the story on its own way back when.
I'm impressed you actually managed to get it out directly after chapter 24 as well.
Yeah. I mean, like that. That was just a happy little coincidence. And I was like, oh shit! If I start posting this at the start of the month, then when we reach chapter 24.5, it will be on Christmas Day. I am so happy that lined up so perfectly. And really, Tom, you're the one I have to thank for that, because you're the one who decided to make chapter 24.5, the 25th chapter, the Christmas chapter. Lined up perfectly as a result, so thank you for that. But,
that was also just a happy coincidence.
Yeah. I love happy coincidences.
You guys are just full of happy coincidences today, aren't you?
Yeah, we can get into the other ones in improv if we
Conspiracy.
go that long. Totally.
Coincidentally, I had some audio problems myself, which caused me to knacker my voice a bit.
Anyways, so following after all of that, the last parts from my PC came in. We put it all together. There was a problem, though. My RAM. The RAM we were using was incompatible with my motherboard, so my dad had to buy new RAM. That was his Christmas present to me, apparently, so there you go. So yeah, we
RAM's good.
Yeah, so
I need new RAM.
So we finally got my new computer assembled a couple days before Christmas. It seems like Santa decided to smile on me and send the package a bit faster, the parts a bit faster. So we were able to get it ready a few days in advance. So with all of that done, my new PC is made, and that's what I'm recording this on.
Awesome.
Now the keen-eyed among you may notice that the layout of the Jibber Jabber screen is just slightly different than normal in terms of like the placement of the character pictures and their size, and that is because I had to completely rebuild the character screen from scratch.
Why?
Because the original because my original character screen was on my OBS installation on my old laptop, which was deleted with my laptop. Remember?
Question: is Tuck still parasiting my head up?
Yes, he is. He's not. I mean, he's not here right now. But if he were, then yes, small talks is a thing. He would still be on your head.
He's probably just buried himself further into my name. Oh God.
Yeah, something out of
Or
it.
he's just hibernating.
No, he's
waiting
trying.
for the
He's
trouble
trying to
to
dig in and find the skull
Yeah, he's
so he
stuck in
can
your mane
inject
somewhere.
himself into the brain.
Yeah.
And take control.
Yeah. well,
I'm scared.
you should be. Anyways. So
There's
yeah.
too many memes in there.
a Tom's head.
As well.
No, I was just gonna say Tom's just like Pinkie Pie's alligator gummy. He just hides in your mane.
I'm back, bitches.
Well, at any rate, so and a few, and so yeah, and then little bit before Christmas, I think like a couple days before, I finally buckled down and watched the MLP Christmas Special, Best Gift Ever, and I figured now would be as good a time as any to talk about it for those of us who have seen it.
Yep.
Yes.
So just so I know I'm kind of talking to no one here, but if you haven't watched The Perfect Gift or The Best Gift Ever, or whatever the hell it's called, and you want to, here's your spoiler warning. We're going to be talking about it. So
If you haven't watched it, for God's sake, what's wrong with you? It's the best MLP Christmas special there's ever been.
it's the only
Yes,
Christmas
and we
special that's
get
ever
one
been.
of the best Twilight fans ever.
Well, the few episodes, but
pudding. Anyway,
oh, oddly enough, this might come as a shock to all of you. My favorite part of the episode would have nothing to do with Twilight.
who are you, and what have you done with?
Who are you? I'm about to say.
No, oh god, the clone escaped.
She's still best pony,
Tom,
and
that is an imposter.
if you do a heresy, I'll blast you off the face of the earth. But my favorite part of the episode was actually Rarity and that kid.
Oh yeah, that was
That she
good.
actually sent the
Oh yeah,
present to.
oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
great. That was good. But so
Yeah,
yeah,
he was
on,
cute.
yeah, on the whole, I really liked it, except for when Flim and Flam showed up. I skipped those scenes
Oof.
because
Applejack did what she usually does, and he made them. So
yeah, but I mean, just fuck Flim and Flam so hard. Can they just not show up in the show ever again, please?
Can we
Please.
just take them and throw them in the swamp with the hydras?
Well, I mean, we don't need to
Give
go
them
that.
like a
we,
stick or
we,
something.
we don't need to go that far. But can we just not have
Why
them
not?
show up? They suck
Yeah, go
Why
have
can't
him.
we have some fun with them, Tom?
because we're better than that.
Are we?
I'm not.
I'm gonna say just go have them. Let them run Las Vegas.
Did you almost say New Vegas? 'Cause
Yes.
Yes, that's what it is. I'm sorry.
I'm
that's,
so proud of you, Paladin.
Fallout New
that's,
Pegasus
we
coming
get
soon.
together, we were actually talking about Fallout when
I
New
did.
Vegas came up on.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh God. All right.
And one of the guys talked about he got Fallout 76. I was like, before I can even say a word, don't you dare! I know people are saying it's bad. Don't say shit about it.
I will
It's
say
good.
shit.
I will because I paid
did
for
it
the
by this
game and
time,
I'm disappointed by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we paid for the full price, and we paid for it hard,
Yeah.
didn't we, Tom?
Yeah. Anyway.
Try.
And I bought
I
it
still
twice
like
an idiot.
it, but it's the weakest Fallout release I've ever
Was
freaking
it
seen.
worth $60,
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah. Well,
Not,
eh,
with-
Well,
not
you paid
without.
$60 for it.
It felt like half a Fallout game because it had all of the Fallout gameplay, the world, all the exploring bits I liked, but it just didn't have the role play, the RPG,
Hmm.
any of it.
anyways, so, excuse me. So, but yeah, getting back on topic to the Perfect Gift episode.
Mhm.
Yes, that was a thing.
Yeah, I liked it a lot,
Yes.
and Discord shenanigans were interesting. He turned into a ninja, and that was fun as hell to watch.
Yeah, that
Oh
G.I.
my god, the
Joe
G.I.
reference.
He turned into Snake Eyes in Rainbow Dash. I forgot the other guy's name,
No,
but opposite Snake Eyes.
that was funny.
Evil one.
I think one of my
Yeah.
favorite parts, aside from the fight at the end against the giant pudding monster and the Snowzilla, was when Spike was desperately trying to get Rarity, and everyone knew what he was doing. It's like, so who do you? I don't have
It's
Rarity,
obvious.
Spike.
It's
It's like
It's so obvious.
you're
I thought
not
he was
subtle,
over it at this
Spike.
point.
No,
I thought he
he's
was over it.
Oh no, he's totally not over her at this point. I don't think he ever will be. Although I will say, when it comes to that song he played at the very end, I think he fucking nailed that.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Nailed it like the fucking Romans.
But
Nailed it like the fucking Robies.
But no, Tone, reindeer.
Yes, those 3 reindeer. Yes.
Mm.
Otherwise known as the actual past, present, and future of Heartswarming.
And then their names. That was funny.
I forget their names.
Aurora
Borealis.
Borealis.
Yeah.
Aurora
Aurora
Borealis.
Borealis. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
actually,
you know what it's like.
funnily enough, those 3 characters are like are my only problem with the episode, and it's not
What's wrong
anything
with
to do with the actual storytelling. It's just I hate the use of omnipotent beings.
Well, they're not omnipotent.
That's a
They're omniscient. And even then, that omniscience is spread between the 3 of them. One of them is fully aware of everything in the past. Another one knows the now. The other knows the future. That doesn't overlap.
I don't think they're necessarily omnipotent. They just have abilities.
They're omniscient, but they're not omnipotent. And again, that omniscience is spread between the 3 of them.
I like how the scrolls refer to them as a reindeer ex machina.
Yes.
A little bit reindeer ex machina, but I like it.
But no. And then Twilight's little freak out at the beginning. That was funny.
Pudding.
Pudding.
No, and then Applejack just kind of calming her down. Hi, Twilight.
That was great, yeah.
How are you?
And it's just they're just so used to her freakouts at this point. It's like traditional holiday meltdown.
Yep. Quick, find the reset button.
Very fun.
Quick, find the reset button. Rainbow Dash comes over and slaps Twilight in the ass, and Twilight just starts rebooting.
Of course it would be Rainbow.
You know what? That's probably how. If ever the Little Flash series goes far enough where I get to that particular sequence of events, that's probably how it's gonna go. Instead of Applejack just calming Twilight down, they're all just gonna turn to Rainbow Dash and be like, Rainbow, reboot, and she's just gonna fly over and clap Twilight on the ass.
Yes. Write that down, Tone.
I mean, to be fair, the series. I mean, as it is, the series won't be going that far. We're stopping before the School of Friendship opens.
Can we just have that like a little Christmas special, like for next year?
We'll see. We'll see.
Please.
We will see. I can make no promises, though.
Be funny as hell.
Rainbow, reboot. You alright, Twi?
No. No.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, away from their sex antics.
Lol.
Oh, wow, we've been trying to talk about the perfect gift, and we've been talking about everything but, so.
We keep getting off topic.
Butts, all right.
Yes.
That seems to be a
'cause we
running
haven't
gag.
done this in a while.
Anyways, so, well, I mean, we haven't done this in a while. Our minds are kind of refreshed. But anyways, so, next topic is actually how our Christmases went. Let's take this one at a time. I'll go last, and I'll just go from left to right on the screen. So that would mean, Soviet, you're up first. How did your Christmas go?
Well, I'll tell it to you the way I told the admin of another Discord server I was in. And, you know, I got a good chuckle out of his reply message. He asked everyone, how is their Christmas doing? And I was the first to reply with, well, you know, I'm spending it the same way I've spent it the last 3 years. Alone, in my bedroom, on my bed, in the fetal position, crying. And he replied with, same.
Oh, oh, but you're not alone. The internet. Not a substitute. It's not a substitute for cuddles, but you can still get good social interaction. I mean, this is living proof of that right here.
Yeah, don't worry, buddy. If you have an issue, have a tissue.
I will kill you myself if you use that again.
Yeah, let's let's not talk about jerking off in this, please.
Jesus Christ.
Oh God!
Click. He understands, people.
Tone, why?
Because I knew it would get a reaction.
Oh God, am I?
Because it's from us
None
in
of
Paris.
mine.
Hades, how was yours?
Meh.
But that's it.
Meh.
Honestly, my holidays have been just kind of because my fucking job kept screwing me over, and then I finally got off it, and I got to spend Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with my family. Then it was straight back to work,
But we're not talking
For-
about the shit surrounding that. We're talking about just Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. How were those?
Okay, as far as that goes, it was fine. Well,
Hmm.
I spent Christmas Eve with my dad's side of the family, and everything was going pretty good. Even though one of my cousins is an annoying little spoiled brat, but I won't get into that. But
All right.
then
What if
Christmas
said,
Day,
what if,
I
what if
just
said cousin finds this video?
I doubt she ever. One, I doubt she's a brony. Two, uh, honestly, I don't know what she does. She's one of those that really antisocial ones that doesn't really talk to anyone but her parents, and even then, she talks very little.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Other
Anyway.
than that, so yeah, Christmas Day I spent with my parents at their house. Then the next day I came back home and rinse and repeat.
All right. Paladin, how was yours?
Oh, not too bad. Me and my brothers and mom and dad got together. Oh, also the brothers' girlfriends. We basically had good turkey roast. And, we basically exchanged presents. Today, Christmas Eve, which both my brothers got me $20 gift cards for Steam. Apparently, they didn't know what to get me.
I mean, to be fair, if you ask me, a gift card is a perfectly acceptable thing to get someone if you can't figure out what to get them, because then no one knows you like you know yourself, so if someone can't think of what to get you, a gift card is perfectly acceptable, I think. Like, it should be a last resort, but it's acceptable.
Yeah. And then Christmas Day, the one I dread the most. Yeah, I got my mother a book. Actually, the Little Glimpses.
Really? A physical
Oh,
copy?
yeah. Yeah.
All right then. You'll have to you'll have to tell me what she thinks.
I haven't found out yet. She said she hasn't looked it over much, so.
Does she read pony books?
Well,
She's like, is this a spin-off from MLP? I scoff. Yes.
Kind of.
I got my dad a Doctor Who movie.
ooh.
Oh, the TV movie with Paul
I
McGann.
think it's Tom Baker. I'm not 100% sure.
No Tom Baker movies.
Unless you were on about the one where there's like 5 doctors or more in.
Oh, that was a special.
Yeah, both my younger brothers like a science food kit. And that's about it for what I gave them. My mom my mom and dad actually include this. Got me one of those fire tablets. And then the younger ones got me a screwdriver set. So
Are they Sonic?
Nice.
I wish.
If they're not Sonic, then I don't care.
Sonic.
Oh,
Sonic
we've
the
got.
Hedgehog.
No, Sonic the Screwdriver. Now then.
I know.
God damn it.
Tuesday, we've got a Doctor Who special. Ooh.
You.
Anyways.
Resolution of the Daleks. Hey.
Oh boy. Oh my eye. Anyways, Darkness. What about you? How was yours?
Oh, mine was actually pretty terrific this year. I really enjoyed it. I mean, spending some time with the family, friends, wonderful Christmas feast. Also, giving a load of presents to people, which was fun. I mean, I say the most unique and different thing I've done, and it was a few days before, which I thought I wasn't going to do it in time because of the amount of issues I've been having with my PC. It's been giving me not so huddle hints. Master, I need bloody upgrades. Upgrade me now before I die. And I would, and I'm trying, and I'm working on it. I just need to pick the right parts. So anyway, fight the aggro. I did do it. I accomplished something I thought I'd never do, a parody Christmas song for Security Twix's server.
Oh,
Because Toast... I know. I mean, as soon as I jumped on, there's still a group of people there, like, hey, Oh, hey. Welcome, Darkness. Would you like to do a Christmas song for us? Yeah, this is like a little carol thing we're doing now. Oh.
Question:
okay.
Did you get Ben to sing?
Oh, dear.
Oh God, no!
Don't. No.
Don't even joke about that.
No.
No.
He is
Ben-
already a WMD as it is. His voice would be the equivalent of a nuclear bomb going off in Manhattan. No.
If that-
Don't you mean
This-
Manhattan?
I don't want to
Yeah,
hear
I've seen
him
it go off
sing.
in Manhattan.
Because
No, don't you fucking dare, you little shits.
Manhattan, Manhattan,
I mean-
Manhattan, Manhattan.
he tried to play a guitar. He sounded like he was murdering that guitar, so I do not want to hear him sing.
Oh, I'll be the same on the guitar. I can't play a guitar for shit.
Oh.
Oh.
my
But
God.
anyway, besides, which was going to be about a minute long because that's how long the tune goes. But since I had a few issues and my throat was being worn out, it lasted 37 seconds. And I know it. Where's my freaking snow? Because every year, my white Christmas has been denied yet again.
Well-
Popsy Wayne.
We got a very, in our part of England, we got a very thin layer of frost over everything Christmas morning. That was like the most white Christmas we've had in a decade. So,
Lucky you.
You know, it kind of
I
reminds
take
me.
Frost over Wayne.
You know, it kind of reminds me. Last year's Christmas was interesting because we had thick snowfall on Christmas Eve. It persisted through Christmas Day and was gone the next morning. It all melted the following morning.
Wow.
From my
you,
point-
you bloody Americans and your snow.
From my point of view,
Ooh la
that
la.
from my point of view, that is perfect. If it's going to snow, if
Horrible.
it's going to snow at any point in the year, let it be on Christmas Day, so long as it's gone by the next morning. That's perfect. I love that. That was great.
And of course, I got a
Rainy
surprise
Chris-
gift from
Christmas
Paladin.
British weather.
Oh yeah, Paladin
Which
got
I
like
had
all,
to-
Paladin got like
Tom's
all
a
of
little
us
salty.
private guys.
Yes. So I felt like I had to get him something, which took me a while because for some reason certain games couldn't make it over there because of the region he was in. I was like, seriously? Fine. So in the end, I just got him some DLCs for Dead by Daylight, which allowed it that amazingly, but not a full game. Bugger. Oh well.
Yeah.
Hopefully that will do.
Lightning Flash, how was your Christmas?
Uneventful.
Uneventful. All right.
Uneventful.
Yeah, kind of. Well, uneventful in the terms that, well, in the past years we used to attend a large family gathering on my mother's side, where we'd all consisted of uncles and aunts, cousins, basically my whole mother's side of the family. It was fun back then. Unfortunately, it's steadily been going downhill, and this year we was just me, my mum, and my stepfather. Had a nice roast goose dinner though.
News.
Yes, and
Goose?
What happened to the turkey?
what?
It fucked off.
No, well, we don't like. I'm not really a fan of turkey. It's too dry.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, I can agree with that. I
You
like
blaspheme on Christmas.
I like
Everyone has a different taste.
I
Tell me
don't-
at least have the pigs in blankets.
Yes,
Oh, yeah. The
Yes.
dogs go crazy at those.
we did. They're lovely.
Yeah, that wasn't something we had during my Christmas, but I'll get to that when it's my turn. Next up, it's Tom.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Well,
I am so tired. Oh god, this last week I haven't bloody stopped. It's obviously Christmas Eve. We had family around. We had like this little banquet going on. It was both my brothers and their lot all coming around. So we were up all night doing that. Christmas Day, it was one of my brothers coming around with his lot. We had turkey, we had pigs in blankets, we had roast, we had all the veg in the world. We had lots left over. We're still eating it now.
ooh.
So yeah, that was all nice and dandy. I got some odds and ends. I got a new phone. I got clothes. A box of beers
Oh,
from my brother. That kind of stuff. So I gave my stepdad power bank for his phone so he can charge that anyway. He's been wanting one of those. My mum, like a box of like just smelly products and personal shit like sprays. Like a big box of various foods and stuff for my brothers. And then Boxing Day, we went around my brothers, so we were on there all day having another banquet that he prepared, so more food. And throughout the next week, I've just been going in and out between various places. I went bowling yesterday with some family. So I've barely managed to get time in for bloody like writing fics and stuff. So I've had to spread it out writing later chapter of Fallout Equestria. What has changed between yesterday and today? So it's probably going to have to go out tomorrow because it's being edited right now.
Aww.
Sorry, Hades. Sure you can wait. I barely got Sparkle out in time, and right now I'm in the middle of editing that TTT video we did a while back because I was meant to do it earlier today, but I bloody forgot because I'm tired. Wow. And yeah, that's my Christmas.
Neat.
Turkey, drink, food comas, and too little time on my hands to do anything else.
You know, that reminds me of that message that you sent that one night, and then the next day you were like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. I was."
Oh, don't even get into that. Stop.
He was drunk again, and drunk Tom is magnificent, and we all know this as a simple fact of reality. We don't need to go into it.
I have yet
Well,
to see.
it wasn't
I'm
because
going
it wasn't that
into
night.
it.
Don't go into that night because yes, I got drunk, but then stuff happened family-wise, and I don't want to talk about it.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
Shut up.
Yep, so now it's my turn. My Christmas was an interesting event. Surprisingly enough, most of the day was kind of unremarkable. Like, the general pattern is, we just spent the basic morning, just in our normal way. I bugged the cat. I had food. We got dressed after showers and whatnot. We went out and had food at a Chinese buffet. Asian buffet, whatever. That actually inhabits the same building that used to be a local video renting place. You know, a Star Video it was called. Interestingly enough, I actually had a grudge against the Asian buffet for a long time after it was first opened because it took the place of Star Video, and I used to love Star Video because before there was downloadable games, that was where I got most of my games. I mean, rented them for only a few days, but still. But in the end, ultimately, it doesn't really matter that much. So after all of that was said and done, excuse me. So after we got back home from that, we opened presents, and the assortment that I wound up getting was it was a small selection, but it was a good selection. I got a box full of Reese's peanut butter cups, and when I say full, I mean there were 2 of them, but they were bigger than my hand each.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, 2 gigantic Reese's peanut butter cups. They're both gone now.
Yeah, they're probably like 1 pound.
Oh dear.
Yeah, they're both a pound, and I ate both of them within a week, within a couple days.
You fucking psychopath.
Thank you for noticing. Anyways, you fucking psychopath. Anyways, so, and I also got Ninokuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, which I want to talk about a little bit here in a minute because it's interesting. I also got a bunch of gift cards, which I spent some of on stuff that I'm going to need for when I get back into recording on Tuesday. But
Did you get it?
What?
Sorry, I thought you. Never mind.
Yeah. And I also got a couple things from Paladin. Paladin got shit for a lot of us, apparently, and one of the things was persistent across the board. He got all of us a horror game called Delirium, which is pony-based, an MLP-inspired horror game. And so that one was, like, unanimous across the board for all the different people who he got gifts for. And he also got each of us a second thing that was differentiating between all of us. I got Tales of Symphonia, and I've played about 30 minutes of each. Delirium, my basic first impressions are, the gameplay is fun and solid, but the tutorial to explain how a lot of the game's more experimental features work is kind of it's too hidden in menus to get to easily, so it's kind of confusing at first. So someone who doesn't like to look at tutorial boxes might be confused to how the fuck to even play the game. I've never been too fond of like finding colored keys to open colored doors in games, so I'm not too fond of that particular mechanic, but the combat itself and the controls are tight and fluid. The visual style is morbid and gruesome as hell. Not something I was expecting on Christmas. But, I mean, yeah, it works. The sound design, minimalistic as it is interesting. And my only other gripes would be the translation and the first 10 minutes. Because the first 10 minutes introduces you to a bunch of characters and then kills all but like 2 of them after those 10 minutes are up. There's no time to get to know any of them or care about them as a player because those characters are all supposedly tied to the main character in some way. Like they're all her friends and now they're all dead, but I didn't have enough time to give a crap about any of those characters. They weren't around long enough. In fact, they all seem to be kind of gigantic assholes, so I'm kind of glad most of them are dead because they were trying to steal from this old guy. They're trying to, like, burgle the house.
2 of them did, yes.
Yeah. And again, the translation's a little wonky here and there. Like, there's some points where if the translation into English... It's not English natively, so the translation into English is a bit wonky in places. I remember there's one point where the character comes across one of her friends still alive, but, like, his chest has been ripped open and he's chained to a wall. His eyes have been gouged out. There's blood and guts everywhere, but he's somehow still alive and screaming in agony. And the main character, I imagine in the original text, the character says, "Why is this happening?" But instead, here in the English translation, she says, "How come?" Which same meaning, but it just doesn't have the same emotional impact, and it actually kind of made me giggle and took me out of the atmosphere. All that aside, though, it's a fun game. Gameplay's enjoyable. Visual style and aesthetics are nice and morbid and dark and creepy as balls. So, I mean, hey,
I haven't actually played Delirium yet. Nor War of the Chosen. I need to get around to that because I've been playing a lot of Stellaris and invading people at the Klingon Empire.
And the other one, Tales of Symphonia, I don't have quite as much I can say about that yet because it's a JRPG. Those suckers are long as fuck, and I'm only 30 minutes in, largely because I had to struggle with figuring out how the hell to control it because it does not play well with the mouse and keyboard. I had to download a piece of third-party software just so to get my controller to work with it, so I haven't had much of a chance to play it yet, so I'll get back to you on that.
Is Delirium 2D or 3D?
2D.
2D, and I do like the look of it all, but I'd say the most pain in the ass thing is not the enemies. I've found a way to deal with most, but the most annoying pain in the ass thing I have to deal with is that fucking teleportation ability. Because if it goes way too far, you explode in a bloody mess. You got to be precise with that. You got to be precise with that. There's no question.
That's why you need to be best pony like Twilight, and you just flawless with teleportation. Because amazing.
Well, anyways, And of course, the other game I mentioned a little bit ago, Ninokuni 2. I'm about an hour into that one because I mean, it's made by Level 5, and I have a soft spot for Level 5 because of Dark Cloud. That game was like my childhood in some capacity. It was one of the minigames of my childhood. 5. Yeah. And I also really like the first Ninokuni. I love the art style. It's heavily inspired by like Studio Ghibli and stuff, so very striking visual style, beautiful music, and the combat's pretty fun too, so when I booted up Ninokuni 2, I was expecting a lot of the same, and so far I've had a lot of the same, but the intro really surprised me. You see, you start off playing as, and get this, even though most of the game takes place in a fantasy world, you start off playing as the President of the United States of America.
Oh, sounds like Saints Row.
Hang on a minute here. So you're driving on your way to a world peace summit, where apparently, like, when everything is signed, like, war just won't be a thing after that. Apparently, someone didn't much care for that, though, and as the president is being driven to this summit, he looks out a window, gasps an alarm because he sees a missile flying through the air. It shoots right over the huge frickin' city he's driving into, explodes, and it's a goddamn nuke! I'm 120 seconds into this game, and millions of people just died. World War III just started. Yeah, and World War III just fucking started. Like, the city is reduced into ashes. The bridge the character's car is on is upturned and turned into dust. The car's flying through the air. He wakes up dying, pinned beneath the car, blood running down his head and fire burning ever closer to him, when he's suddenly enveloped in blue light and disappears. And then he reappears in the connected fantasy world of Ninokuni, with his age having been regressed, because apparently he was chosen for some purpose or something. He shows up and promptly finds himself caught up in the middle of a coup against the local child king, and decides to help the Kid King get the hell out because, well, I mean, this guy doesn't like coups, so yeah. And I'm only about an hour in, and yeah.
Yeah, this sounds about as anime as you can get.
Oh, it is
I
anime.
think I know what you're talking about.
It is anime. It's,
Like you're playing as the United States, but then the nuke goes off, and now you're a child in the fantasy world. And the child princess, whatever.
He's not a child. He's a young adult. He was like an old man when the nuke went off. Now he's like in his mid-20s, early 30s. And the kid isn't a princess. He's a dude. And apparently the kid is actually like the main character, or like they share main character status.
Still, you don't see Donald Trump doing that.
What's the kid's name?
Evan.
Oh, damn it. It's not the protagonist from the first game.
No.
I remember.
I mean, this is like a long time in Ninokuni's future. Oliver is going to be like an old guy at this point, so.
Dang it. The
Also,
first game was fun.
Don't spoil the ending for me. I haven't actually beat the first one yet.
Neither have I.
You haven't beat the first one. You're playing the second one.
You don't need to. You don't.
I'm not playing the second one.
I mean, you
don't
don't need.
own a PS4, so I can't play the second one.
It's on PC.
Oh, I didn't know it was on PC.
Yeah, Ninokuni 2 is apparently on Steam.
Is the first one on Steam?
No idea. I didn't look.
Well, then I'll find out later. But I had it for the PS3,
yeah,
then it got sold.
But I mean, as things stand, I mean, it's kind of like Final Fantasy in the sense that in this case, it's the same world, but the stories are disconnected enough and so far apart you don't need to play one to understand the other.
Hmm.
There are different times and different versions of events, so separate stories. Don't need to play the first one to understand the second.
Yeah.
I mean, it might help. I mean, it might help with some context, but that's about it.
I feel like I've seen the game somewhere.
Still, anime is just so bloody random in its plots. What?
I mean, it can be.
Just got into a new game, which I hugely regret missing out on ages ago.
What's it called?
Path of Exiles.
Yeah.
It's a role-playing game.
Yeah, it's... I mean, do you get significant dialogue choices that impact the story of the game? If the answer is no, then I'm sorry, that's not really a true RPG. That's an action game with RPG elements.
That's why Fallout 76 sucks so much ass. Well,
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, just about every game Bethesda Game Studios has put out haven't been full-blown true RPGs. They've been action
I know,
games,
but in Fallout 4, think of it this way: there's 4 factions at the end of the game. You can have 3 of those factions in charge. 3 of those factions have peace. You can have one of them have peace. You can choose who lives, who dies. In Fallout 76, you see these raiders who you absolutely hate, and you want to shoot their leader in the face right here, right now. Sorry, she's invincible. You have to work for them. There's no choice in the matter.
Yeah.
I tried. Didn't let me shoot her.
Yeah, I mean,
I
joined the Enclave to be a true American patriot, and then I just ended up being disappointed because they were all dead and it was a supercomputer.
I wanted to blow up the Enclave, but the game forced me to join them to get the ending, and there wasn't even a bloody ending. You complete the last mission, it's over. There's not even a bloody slideshow.
There's no credits. It's just disappointment.
Yeah, well, let's get to well, let's get off of that for the time being because we have one more topic before we're on to improv.
It was cool fighting through the silo, though. I'll give it that.
Well, anyway, so last topic would be like tomorrow's New Year's Eve. So, do any of you have New Year's resolutions?
Yeah.
No,
I do.
Not really.
I mean, here's mine. I will not be making any more New Year's resolutions after the start of the new year. I feel like this is the only New Year's resolution I'll ever be able to keep.
They want to make a new one next year because he forgot.
No, next year I'm probably just not gonna. Or I'll just reiterate the same. I'm not gonna make a New Year's resolution this year. Because I never succeed. So really, at this point, it's really just a key for disappointment if you do that. So I'm just deciding, no, I'm not gonna. Fuck it. Done.
Yeah. I have one for this year.
What is it?
It's the bog standard one of trying to lose weight, but I have a reason for this. It's because I'm going to be attending an anime convention in June, and I'm planning to cosplay as a certain character. Tom Hardy's Venom.
Oh no.
Jesus Christ, man.
Crap, what did I miss? It just seriously died on me. What the heck did I miss?
What?
My freaking Discord just died for me. It just went brrrr. I just went to homepage
Ugh.
and it re-uploaded again.
He's cosplaying as Venom.
Ah.
I'm planning to.
Oh.
I've already purchased a latex head mask. Posting it in the chat now. That one.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that one.
Mm.
Interesting nostrils.
Yeah.
There's our nostrils, they're eye holes.
I know, but they're positioned as nostrils.
Yeah. Mm. But yes, I've already got what those one of those full body suit spandex things.
Fair enough.
So black one, wearing that mask over it. Should be alright. Should be interesting. Won't be wearing too thick clothes though, because it's going to be during the summer and hot as balls.
Yeah.
I think I might make my own.
I'm just gonna need to lose weight by default anyway, because over the last week I've packed on quite a bit.
Well, I haven't.
This happens when I come home from uni.
Or Carnage. I do like Carnage.
Mm.
That's why she's too big.
So,
Yeah, well, opposite.
there,
I should be able to pull off quite nicely.
oh, yeah.
I do have
That's-
kind of a revolution, I suppose.
All right, go on.
Oh, yeah.
A revolution.
Resolution. New Year's revolution. Fuck Brexit.
No.
Yes.
No.
We wish.
Trust me, you guys
At this
don't
point,
wanna
our
be
Prime
part of
Minister's
the
all but
EU.
admitted we'll get nothing from it, but she's doing it anyway. Yay.
British Revolution.
And I'm bloody determined on this one because it's been too bloody long, and I'm going to accomplish it. Get the final bloody upgrades I require for my PC before it gives up on me. But it's been good so far. Despite it says on Can It 1, I'm not allowed to run any of these games. They say they can't even run on minimum settings. Then how are they working? I'm confused.
I don't know. Are you overclocking?
I guess so. I mean, I got a 1060 graphics card, which originally was going to get a motherboard, but then my PC guy was like, well, why don't you get the graphics card first? Maybe motherboard first? Yeah, but you're going to need a bigger case anyway. You might as well go for the graphics card when it's on offer. Fuck it, why not? And he also got a cooler out of me. But besides that, it works great, but not fantastic, but decent.
Not great, not fantastic, but decent. That's a sentence.
Yeah. Sorry.
That is a thing
Yeah.
with words that you just said.
I'm just trying to be polite to the PC so it doesn't die on me again.
It's an inanimate object. It doesn't give a shit.
You say that.
Then
But-
it
In,
magically dies again.
Maybe it's like in Fallout Question Project Horizons, where in Zebrica there's like a species of like ethereal like energy beings that sometimes inhabit objects, and if you insult the object, they take offense and will make it not work just to spite you.
Ah,
It inhabits rock. Fuck you, rock. Picks it up to throw it. Rock stays in hand.
Hey!
Excuse me.
I am trying to throw you.
and then it proceeds.
Maybe that's what
to-
happened to you in town. Maybe that's what happened to you in
No,
town.
here's what happens. You throw the rock, and then it boomerangs right back in your face.
That's even more comedic than it not leaving
That is so much worse.
appendage.
Oh, bloody hell. Hello, Taz.
All right, well, I think we're on to the topic of improv now. So, yeah,
Have at thee.
yeah.
I've just finished editing our final
Oh,
thing from the Gmod session. Yay!
Wow,
Thank
you've
God,
been
tomorrow.
doing that
Oh,
for
good.
months. Jesus.
Oh, my computer died, so I couldn't bloody do anything with them.
Ah, right.
Well, I would like to
few
tell
weeks.
some of my experiences of the past week since I've been getting into a new game called Halo Wars 2.
All right,
Yes.
go.
Oh, there's a
All right.
problem right there.
All right, go ahead.
Anyone, if you don't know what, if anyone here doesn't know what Halo Wars is, it's basically a
I do,
spin-off of
definitely
the
know
Halo
one.
series that's an RTS game. You control groups
I
of
know
units and move it around.
You're talking
moving them
to a
around.
massive Halo nerd.
Although bafflingly, it's
Well-
on a console, and real-time strategy games almost never work even remotely well on consoles.
Oh, it does.
Well,
It's
pretty
mostly built up
decent.
for the console. in
It's
mind.
built for the console, although I
I
think
still prefer
Halo
on
Wars
PC
2
more.
is one of their play anywhere games, meaning you can play it on Xbox or on a Windows computer.
Hmm.
I'm
nice.
not sure, don't quote me on. Anyways, but I ended up getting the season pass for the game, which gives me all of the commanders for multiplayer, and I found one that is just delightful. He's a grunt, and his name is Yap
Oh.
Yap the Destroyer.
Oh,
yeah, the Destroyer.
Yap Yap the Destroyer has special units.
He wears the
called,
freaking
cannon
Carnage Crew's
fodder.
crown for no reason.
Yes. But anyways, Yap Yap has a special standardized infantry unit. They cost no resources to make, but they're called cannon fodder. And they're just a group of about 5 grunts that don't have any guns or anything. And you just throw them at the enemy.
Hence
That's
why
a-
they're
It's
called
a meat
cannon
shield,
fodder.
a literal meat shield.
Anyways, but yeah, no, we started up a 2v2 match. It was me and 3 friends. I was playing with my friend named Scarab, he's a massive Halo fan, hence his name. But he was playing the Halo Wars version of the Arbiter, and I was playing Yap Yap the Destroyer. And you know, I sent my troops to capture the first power node, and my friend W sent his fucking Marine, UNSC Marines, to capture it as well. And basically, you know, his Marines start shooting at my cannon fodder, and I move the main bulk of them right up to the power node to capture it. And then when he's done fighting that group, the power node is captured in mine. He's like, wait a second, did you little shits capture it while I was fighting them? Get back here with my power. Oh god. But
So it shows
Yap
you that the
Yap-
cannon fodder is basically harmless Zerg rushing.
No, actually, it's hilarious. When they get into a fight with units, with ground units, they punch them, and if they get into a fight with air units, they pick up rocks and start chucking them.
But what I meant by Zerg rush is just the sheer number you can throw at once.
Yes,
Yeah.
usually the best strategy to use them is if you have an enemy set up a minefield outside their base, you gather up a bunch of cannon fodder and send them into the minefield first, then you send your important units in afterwards.
The poor Ongoy, they're the most just downtrodden of all species in the Halo universe.
But
That is why the pawns go first.
yeah, but no, Yap Yap is a great character because he's basically a Reddit shitposter in his dialogue. Like you can, as the Covenant, you can build shield generators over your base, which protect them from damage. And when they're finished constructing, one of his lines of dialogue is, "Wow, the circumference of this shield generator is almost enough to cover the posterior of your mom."
That's why I like Halo Wars.
This is why the Covenant glassed the Ongoy's homeworld.
Well, no, it was because they were rebelling, but still.
I know.
And-
I'm sure one of them also saw the Prophet of Truth, Mother.
Strong player. The first grunt to ever rebel, and he's a legend.
Wow,
God.
that's great.
Wow.
But yeah, no, he has a lot of fun dialogue.
And then you have other faction. We have Johnson.
Also-
freaking...
Dialogue.
Also, one last thing. He has one of the best commander abilities in the game, which is called Please Don't Shoot Me. For 30 seconds after it's activated, nobody in the game can perform attack options. You can only move your troops or build structures. You cannot attack, and it is great.
It's an entire faction built upon how pathetic grunts are.
I know, it's hilarious. I love it.
It's like
I would definitely recommend
so
Halo Wars to
it is great for tactics because my friend had just moved out his assault force to go take a base slot, and I sent 3 Scarab mechs and a bunch of my hero units to go attack his main base. The first thing I did before they reached it was hit the "please don't shoot me."
Oh,
And
God.
it's great because he has the line of dialogue: "Stop shooting at us, you big bullies!" Proceeds to destroy main base by bullying it with 3 Scarab mechs.
Well, it must
And a
win
classic
because it
cannon.
must work because in the Halo universe, the grunts are the most pathetic enemies you encounter. They die very easily. Getting killed by one makes you a laughing stock if you're playing them.
I love it. I think it was Halo
But
3.
in the lore, when they rebelled, they were actually winning on the ground against
That's why
the
they glassed
elites
the
and everything,
cannons.
which is why they just bombed it from orbit.
It just glass it from orbit.
Was it like guerrilla warfare or something? Is that how they were winning?
No, it's just they
No,
breed
sheer
like
numbers.
ridiculously quickly.
Oh, okay.
They
those-
breed like fucking jackrabbits.
the jackhammer like
Exactly.
jackrabbits.
Wow.
Gotcha.
They just come in waves. Like they're like fuck this. They just bomb the planet
but
from
the
orbit.
Arbiter has the second best grunt unit in the game, and that's Suicide Grunts.
Commit suicide!
I know the one match that I played Arbiter, my strategy was I killed off every unit I had and then had my max population of units consist of entirely Suicide Grunts, and I sent them to destroy one of my friend's bases, and it got obliterated.
If we're speaking of things we've done in RTSs, recently on my Cesar's playthrough as the Klingons, I had to maybe commit a slight genocide against my own people for the greater good.
Nah, it's fine.
I was role playing as the Klingon Empire, so I started off this is a custom faction using one of the races that looks like a Klingon. Like I put in how the Klingons killed their own gods, the house united into an empire, yada yada. I've started off the game playing as pure Klingon, and there was a race down south. I've just erased them from the universe. Called the Ruthans or something like that. So their populations are now part of my empire. I encountered a few more people. I've since I've been trying to roleplay the Klingons mellowing out a bit, kind of like they did in Star Trek, like allying with the Federation and all that. So I've entered a Federation with a couple of other, 3 other species now, and I'm kind of allied against all the xenophobes to the right of the galaxy. We're on a massive war with them. However, during one such war, the Ruthans suddenly had a massive population growth. Like their population just burst within my borders. And because they were getting so many so quickly, I didn't have jobs for them. I didn't have housing for them. So all of my energy credits, all of my food, happiness, everything just flatlined instantly while in the middle of the war. So earlier on in the game, I had my second ruler outlaw purging. My third ruler was in now, re-enabled it, and proceeded to shove all the Ruthans off to the side to die. Yeah, they all just kind of starved to death off to the side, all but 2 populations by the time everything had fixed itself. So
God, that's horrible.
I mean, at that point, you just need to Thanos snap.
well, I can manage the population now. The Ruthans are starting to go off again, but normally I wouldn't even bloody do that. I just make a lot of trade deals. But because I was playing the Klingon Empire, I was like, how would the Klingons deal with this? Just genocide.
Starve to death.
Just bomb them, starve them.
Then starve.
Wipe out half
yeah.
the population.
But still, that complete economic flatline because of their population growth almost destroyed my empire in the middle of this war. I was barely able to scrape on by.
Just pull a Thanos.
That's what he did.
No. I'm just trying to get the galaxy. I'm just trying to increase my federation by getting one more faction in. I have my eye on and trying to get rid of as many of these other hostile factions as I can, while building up all of myself and my allies' fleets, because I have a distinct impression that the crisis they're going to face in about 150 years' time in game is going to be basically the Reapers from Mass Effect called the Contingency are going to show up with fleets of like thousands of ships at a time. So I know this is coming and I'm shitting myself.
Well, on that horrifying note, it is time for us to end this episode of Jibber Jabber. Yeah.
It started so quickly and ended so soon.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's only an hour-long show, so...
I mean, I edited an entire 20-minute video in that time, so...
So thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Keep listening, people. Bye-bye.
Sarah.
Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful new year.
I want to die.
Ben is stupid.